The YouTube apostate Sneako recently engaged in an ejaculatory mental diatribe against his friend and business associate Myron Gaines, who co-host of Fresh and Fit podcast, due to his extreme indulgence of non-Muslim-like extracurricular activities and lifestyle.
Your macros, even your girl, you're talking about how she's going to help you out in business, stuff like that. Why do you choose that as the vice out of all vices?
Females?
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, bro, I'm not like out here like going crazy. I'm not like going crazy. I'm not like going on like 3-4 dates, smashing 2-3 new girls a day. Like I'm not doing nothing crazy like that.
But your body counts in the couple hundreds. I mean, mine is too. But
let me look.
Bro, you had a list?
Yeah.
Like a serial killer? What the? He's got a list.
422.
Bro. Do you keep a tooth too for each girl?
Keep a what?
A tooth?
No,
like in a
bro,
jar or something?
No.
422.
But I'm 33 though.
Chat, is that a lot? You're saying like, oh, I'm not anything crazy. Chat, type of 1 if that's more than you. Everyone has to type of 1. I don't think there's anybody watching the stream that has more than that.
They're probably gonna say I'm cap anyway, so that's fine.
I know you're not capping.
But I'm 33, bro. I'm old.
And then Identity with Marcus says, Myron, sleeping around with women literally flies your dopamine receptors. I've noticed that for myself. Chat, is 422 crazy? That's a lot of people, bro. Think about them all in an auditorium.
I don't think it...
Imagine if you saw them all at once. And then you're just like giving a speech. Bro, that's insane.
It is a little high, but I'm 33, bro. I'm old. I'm old as...
That's not old. Bro, 422 people. Can you imagine? Like, think about if you put them all in an auditorium, how many of them you wouldn't even recognize. You're like, oh... I would say at least half of them, you would be like, you? Really? Would you be able to remember their faces?
Did they believe me in the chat that I got 14?
He's not capping. Like, Myron doesn't lie. I think I'm like 130, 140, something like that.
Yeah, look at that. You're fucking...
But you're thinking of it like Call of Duty, like it's a leaderboard, bro.
No, but like you're 24. You had way more than I did when I was 24.
But it's not a cop. That's not a...
130 is a lot, bro, for 24. That's worse than me.
If I stop now, though,
if I
stop now, I'm good. Bro. If I stop now, I'm good.
130? When I was 24, I had like maybe 20 or 30.
So you racked all this up in like 3-4 years?
Huh?
You racked this up in the past?
Yeah, because remember, bro, when in my 20s, I was like in Laredo, Texas. I was literally stuck on the Mexican border, just work. I didn't really start like getting out there more until like 28 because I was like so focused on. So yeah, in the last 5 years.
Chat, type of 1, like, okay. We need to dig into this argument a little more. How are you saying that? Think about all the weed smokers that are watching this and how much time and investment you spend into 422 women. Like a guy who's like smoking a joint at the end of work, stuff like that. Like he's chill. Maybe it's like hurting his lungs a little bit. It does lower your testosterone apparently, stuff like that. It could give you psychosis. But 422 women, think about that. The energy investment, the time investment, how your dopamine receptors are fried. Think about like how you're going to change your view about women, how much anger and stress you get dealing with all these people, the possibility that they ruin your life.
Too, that the career field that I came from, marijuana, was absolutely unacceptable. You can't smoke if you're a Fed.
That's 420,000 lashes. You're back. You're dying.
I would be dead, bro.
There would be no more Myron. It would just, the whip would go through. You'd be evaporated from that many lashes.
I would be gone.
Ladies and gentlemen of the learned assembly, permit me to indulge your intellectual faculties with a discourse of unparalleled complexity, a colloquy that embarks upon the shores of raillery and ribaldry. In a recent live stream upon the digital tapestry of Rumble, the indomitable Sneako found himself engaged in a sardonic roast, directed with rapier-like wit towards the enigmatic Myron Gaines. The focal point of Sneako's comedic jousting? None other than Myron's amorous escapades, a milieu characterized by its audacious vivacity. Sneako, like a modern-day Diogenes, thrusts his lantern of inquiry upon Myron's choice of companions, his inquisition penetrating the nebulous cloud of Myron's promiscuous parabola. With the erudition of a philosopher, Sneako quests into the enigma of Myron's countenance, which brims with reminiscences of amorous encounters. As a raconteur of the highest order, Myron retorts that his proclivities are but a symphony of moderation, albeit interspersed with a body count that rivals the tales of Homer. In a jest worthy of Aristophanes, Sneako transforms the discourse into a carnival of comparisons, facetiously likening Myron's tally to that of a serial antagonist who curates mementos of his exploits. An inquiry that borders on the surreal ensues, as Sneako posits whether Myron preserves the dentition of his paramours in ornate jars, akin to a whimsical collector of porcelain figurines. The ebb and flow of dialogue continue akin to a battle of wits amidst titans. Sneako, like an alchemist, labors to quantify the enormity of Myron's escapades, postulating the enigma of memory's limits when faced with a cavalcade of concubines. The tempestuous clash of perspectives reaches its zenith when Myron invokes the parameter of his age, a palimpsest upon which the chronicles of his trysts are embellished. Yet, Sneako, undeterred, unveils his rhetorical arsenal, positing that 422 dalliances, regardless of temporal coordinates, are a numerical juggernaut. Like an erudite sage, he delves into the alchemy of time and energy, pondering whether such pursuits are akin to a vapor that dissipates in the crucible of existence. The discourse then evolves into an exploration of the psychological landscape, where Sneako deftly conjectures upon the toll borne by the crucible of such titanic encounters. The affliction of stress and the maelstrom of emotions are dissected with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel, questioning whether Myron's visage conceals a maelstrom of turbulence, akin to the tempestuous seas of ancient mariners. The climax of this intellectual caper arrives with a quip that dances upon the precipice of absurdity. Sneako, with an air of sublime absurdity, jests that if the penalties for his dalliance with the weed were congruent with the ramifications of Myron's romantic escapades, he would indeed be banished to the realm of the diseased. In the pantheon of sagacity, as we reflect upon the intriguing repartee between Sneako and Myron Gaines, we cannot overlook the profound doctrine of delayed gratification that stands as a sentinel of enlightenment. Amidst the humor and persiflage, a thread of wisdom weaves through this discourse, an offering of guidance that Myron, like a modern Odysseus, might do well to heed. Delayed gratification, that art of differing immediate pleasures for future rewards, serves as an allegorical compass, guiding us through life's labyrinthine passages. While Myron's conquests might titillate the senses and offer fleeting pleasures, the philosophy of restraint and foresight imparts a wisdom that transcends mere ephemeral pleasures. As the ancient sages advised, the path to genuine fulfillment is often paved with the bricks of patience and self-discipline. In the context of Myron's promiscuous pursuits, the cultivation of delayed gratification can be likened to tending to a rare orchid, nurturing its growth to witness it bloom in its full resplendence. Just as a skilled mariner navigates through treacherous waters, Myron too can chart a course towards a more profound sense of fulfillment by embracing this ethos. Rather than pursuing a barrage of transient encounters, he might channel his energies into cultivating deep connections that are rooted in emotional resonance and mutual understanding. Furthermore, delayed gratification imparts an invaluable lesson on the architecture of self-esteem and self-worth. By eschewing the allure of immediate, superficial pleasures, Myron can ascend to a higher plateau of self-respect, reinforcing his intrinsic value and dignity. Instead of being ensnared in a cycle of ephemeral highs, the path of restraint and mindfulness can lead him towards a more authentic sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. In summation, what transpired in the digital crucible of Rumble was an intellectual fandango, a theatrical exchange that juxtaposed the humorous and the reflective in a dance that Shakespeare himself would applaud. With quill and parchment, I salute this jest and this joust, a verbal ballet that pays homage to the sheer diversity of human experience.